Hello, everybody. How are you? You'll be able to see Reggie momentarily. We can turn our magic trick off. There we go. Hey, we're excited to be back tonight on this Tuesday evening.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Listen, y'all, it's a little rainy today, and I'm just gonna say I'm a little worn out. Can we? I just need. We need to. I want to hit that corner right there and turn it just a little bit. So y'all, right on this side, y'all see? Nope, the laptop. Turn the laptop just a little bit. So we've got all of our little things that we use to make stuff happen.
Yeah, you know that laptop.
We gonna get. It ain't gonna turn. It's okay. With soon we gonna get our when the COVID goes away, Jesus, in Jesus' name, we gonna get some interns in here to
Right, we have the interns. They just can't physically come and join us.
come do stuff like make sure this laptop is situated right.
Look, start our watch parties. Do something.
Come on, help us. That's all. We just need a little help. That's it. By the time we start, it's about time for a nap because we didn't have to do so much stuff.
Yeah.
Listen. So anyway, hi, welcome to Red Light. I am Collette Portis, COO and founding partner of Red Development Group, and my lovely co-host is.
I am Reggie Stearns Kemp, CEO, and we are so excited to be here this evening. And for all you people that are watching and not commenting, but then you stop me and tell me, ooh, why don't you just have a conversation with me right now?
Yes, just go tell us what's on your mind right
Please
now. You don't gotta wait. We want you to come, hang out with us, talk back, because this is a conversation. This is your opportunity because people pay us good money to do what we do.
That's right.
But this is your opportunity to ask questions for free.
Look,
that don't happen often.
Without sitting on the sofa.
There you go. Get some good information. Yeah. Share what's on your heart. Share what questions you have. So, again, welcome to Red Light. We have an amazing guest for you tonight that I bet a lot of you hadn't even thought about building a relationship with or reaching out to or contacting or any of that. Well, guess what? We did. We started this relationship. Well, we started a long time ago, but
on your behalf.
Oh, I ain't gonna say that. I did it on my own behalf. I'm just presenting her to you. And, maybe that's what Red does. I'm just
on your behalf.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So we have an amazing Red champion that's going to be on tonight with us, having a conversation with us about something that I am almost willing to bet a lot of business owners have not thought about, and potential business owners and aspiring business owners hadn't talked about. Mm-hmm. So the conversation we're going to have with her is one where you want to think about this being one of your first steps when you start thinking about business. So who is Red Development Group? We are a business development firm that is dedicated to helping you alleviate the self-doubt that comes along with being a business owner and an entrepreneur and feeling like a man or a woman on an island. We are focused on helping you to reduce your financial stress by helping you understand how to go drive revenue in your business and giving you the steps to do that. We are on purpose about making sure that you build the right connections and you have the right support system to support you on this journey, because this isn't one you can take alone. Mm-hmm. And then last, but most certainly not least, helping you to get to a place where you get the freedom you've worked so hard for. So many of us start this journey and never get to the freedom.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah. And so we want to make sure that doesn't happen to you. So I was having a conversation with our director of brand development, who's phenomenal, by the way. I just need to say, our team is dope.
Right.
I'm just saying, if y'all only knew, Our team is amazing. But he said to me, you know, what we do at Red Development Group is like a baby in an incubator.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And what do you think about when you think about a baby in an incubator? The baby's organs and things like that aren't fully formed, but that process of being in the incubator is going to help make that happen.
They have to be developed.
They have to be fully developed.
Mm-hmm.
And that is who we are to the business community.
That is right.
So, our topic for tonight
Mm-hmm.
is something that someone said in a meeting that we hosted a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a seasoned business owner that said, I don't know what to do.
You know, and she said it, and I don't know who heard it, but I wanted her to say it 3 times over because there are so many people that are in that position. And the other part that she said was, I am an entrepreneur, but I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell everybody else what to do in their businesses and or in their personal life. But when it comes to me, it's different. How many people fall into that category?
Yes. And it's okay. My personal belief is that God didn't give us the purpose and the vision for us to run with it and be able to do everything. He gave it to us to lead the charge, not be the whole charge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think our interns remind us of that every day.
That is the truth.
You know, when we have our meetings with them, we meet, and then by morning, they have, you know, they'll share things in the meetings, but by the time they go and start doing some research and working on other things, they bring a whole new, fresh idea, you know, to life, to our business, to everything. So it's okay that you don't know what to do, but you have to make sure that you collaborate with collaborate, or be advised by those who do. And it's okay. And I think that that's what so many entrepreneurs are struggling with. They feel like they should know and they don't know. And so they remain in this constant hamster cycle of doing nothing and going nowhere fast. And when we talk about earn your freedom back, that's what we mean. When we talk about you're in the owner's trap, you're in the owner's trap because you're not looking for the way out. You're looking to solve it, but you're not finding your way out because you're not tapping into the resources and the people that are available for you.
Yes. And Reggie, you know what that leads to? Self-doubt,
Mm-hmm.
financial distress,
Yes.
no support system, and being trapped in your business.
Or rejecting your support system.
Or rejecting your support when it comes. That one thing, not knowing what to do, because you know what they tell us. When you turn 18, you should know how to be grown. When you start a business, you should know how to do that. There's all of these things that say because you made this decision, you should know everything about it.
Okay, just in case that didn't resonate, let me just give you this one. When you've been married for 34 years and it's your anniversary and you say, well, he should know what I want. He doesn't know. If you don't tell him, he don't know. Same with business. Sometimes we just don't know.
Sometimes and guess what? It's okay. Because none of us know everything about anything.
Well, and the reality is that there are so many things that change on a consistent basis. And I think people, they don't realize it, but they really want things to remain the same so that they can continue to do it and be on automatic. But really, COVID has showed us that life is not like that. God is not like that. He's a progressive God. So I don't know why we are so resistant to change. Change is going to occur. Yes. Let's just be prepared for the change that's going to come.
Absolutely. And be ready. And not just be ready for it, but embrace it.
Yes.
Embrace it because, and enjoy the journey, whether it's and I always say, I don't have bad days. I have character building days. Because on the day where it's been the roughest, I'm telling you what happens for me.
Okay.
It builds my character.
Push rewind.
Okay.
So it's what building days?
It's character building days.
But I think so many times when people, entrepreneurs, business owners, enterprises, when they're faced with challenge, they wonder why. But you have to change the lens. You have to see it differently because there's something that you're supposed to learn. That's just like life. Life is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It teaches you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your entrepreneurship journey is going to be any different?
Mm-hmm. No.
So stop feeling like, I don't know why they did that to me. It ain't them. It's the experience that you're supposed to go through to make you better for what's about to come.
Absolutely.
That's the reality of it all.
Absolutely. And it's important to your journey. It is, because let me tell you something. Somebody who's never got up to walk, how well can they use their legs?
Right.
They're feeble. They can't. The muscles haven't been used. And so just like for us, if we haven't been challenged in some way, shape, or form, then we're feeble. So your character building days are the days that, I'm a believer of the word. And so the scripture says that although you slay me, yet will I trust you. It was good for me to be afflicted. Because here's one of the things that I say. I've had many challenges, and today's been a pretty challenging day for me. I will say that. I lost a family member. I got two more that are really close to me that are fighting for themselves and their health and all of that right now. I'm just, my mama crazy. So, we threw that in there.
Definitely, but we want you to continue to watch, so forgive her.
Good thing she don't be on Facebook. The kids are probably, the kids might show her though, but whatever. Anybody who knows her knows. She knows it too. But at the same time, it's been a character building day for me. And I have had to focus, figure out how to do that and what to focus on in my day today, because I woke up to some pretty bad news. But guess what? At the end of the day, I had to figure out, I had to think and process, okay, so what do you do with your day? Do you give it all away? Do you stay in the bed? Is that what you do? Or do you move forward? And if you move forward, how do you move forward? So I don't know what to do is what we're talking about today. I am asking you, if you are a business owner, an aspiring business owner, and you are listening to us right now, if you don't know what to do, put it in the comments. We will have this exchange, and this is a conversation between us and you. And so if you take advantage of it, we will respond to you, and we'll respond to you today. So we've got, small businesses. There's 28 million small businesses in the U.S. Of that 28 million, we employ 57% of the population. How significant is that?
So if we don't know what to do, half of our household, let's just say it's our household. If you're living in a house and it's two of you and your husband doesn't know what to do, or you're by yourself and you don't know what to do, it affects everything.
And everybody.
And everybody.
And everybody. Because it limits access. When you don't have a way to maintain to take care of your basic needs, it limits access. Even when, just any financial decrease in your household, we all know that limits your access. And so the more your access is limited, the more limited you are, which causes, again, stress, self-doubt, financial strain, disconnection from your support system, and lack of freedom. Because there's freedom in making sure that you have access. So our question of the day. So last week we talked about well, not last week, but in the past weeks, we talked about missed opportunities, getting organized, calculated risk. And today we're talking about knowing what to do. The question of the day today is, what is your big unknown? Put it in the comments. What is your big unknown as it pertains to your business? Is your unknown your next step? Is your unknown figuring out marketing? Is your unknown social media? What is your unknown? What is that big thing that you're like, I keep trying to figure this out, I just don't know? What is your unknown?
And I wonder if it's almost like the lottery. People think, oh, if I had the money, well, what would you do with the money? So, that is the question. What would it? And another thing, if you don't know what you're going to do with the money, sometimes you don't get it because you don't know what you're going to do, whether it's money or additional people or whatever it is. What is your strategy? What is your plan? What is your vision? And if you don't know your vision and you haven't communicated your vision well to your staff, then you wonder why they seem like they're not doing what they need to do, because you don't even know what you're doing.
Or your family. Or your vendors. Like, one of the rules that we have is if we need a vendor and we go to them and they don't ask us who our target audience is, we probably won't work with them. How do you serve me? How do you help me serve my audience if you don't even know who that is? You've not asked me. So that's one thing. But I'm going to share. I was in a coaching session today with a client, and we were talking about pushing to the limits, and when God shows up and gives you more, is at the place at which you've exhausted the resources you already have.
Right.
Not when you still have abundance around you, but you want it to come in some other form, or you want it to be something else, or you want it to be different. The other question is, how are you exhausting the resources that are around you? And when you do that, and you go, okay, I've used everything that I have that I know to use. Okay, now I need more. That is, at least in my personal experience. I don't know about you, but in my personal experience, when I do that, I'm telling you, the world opens up for me, and it's more than I could have asked, and it's more than I could have thought every time.
And so I'm going to put it this way. Sometimes you can look up the hill and you see up the hill, and as you're going up the hill, it just seems like you're just going to reach the top and then you're just going to fall. Right? So you don't know what to expect. But when you get to the hill, then it flattens and it goes. But you'll never know what's on top of the hill unless you keep on going. You have to keep moving forward. It's forward movement. If you already tell yourself that you can't do it, you can't achieve it, it's not going to happen, you know what? It's not going to happen. But if you tell yourself that you can, when I get up there, then it's going to happen. He who says it can, they can. He who says it cannot or will not, it will not.
So a man thinketh, so is he. Very good book, by the way.
It
if you
really
haven't read it, you should,
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to bring in our special guest because she has a lot of input in this conversation that we're having. Who is that who said hello? Is that Jeff Johnson?
Jeff Johnson.
Well, hey, Jeff.
Jeff went to Oregon when I needed him most. I tell you, I don't know about you, Jeff.
Well, how you doing, Jeff? So our guest is the amazing. She really is. I'm not just saying that because she wears the cutest shoes, and y'all already know how I feel about cute shoes. But I'm saying that because she really is just amazing. She is the Economic Development Specialist at the Fort Worth Economic Development Department, and her name is Cheryl Jones. Hi, Cheryl. Can you hear us? No?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Hey, how are you?
I am great. How are you ladies doing?
We're good.
Better than we should be.
I know, but hey, gotta do it, gotta be it.
That's right. Let us see your shoes, Cheryl. You know I've been talking about your shoes.
I know. I moved, right? And I downsized. So that meant I had to downsize a few of the shoes too.
I don't understand why I didn't get a phone call to say I'm getting rid of some of my babies. Do you mind giving them a good home? I don't understand.
I know. You probably couldn't wear them, they're too small, but I actually gave away 25 huge garbage bags full of clothes and shoes.
Wow.
Wow.
But I still have a good collection.
Very good.
I am sure you do. So Cheryl, thank you for joining us. It really does mean a lot to us that you have joined us.
Sure.
Because, I mentioned that Cheryl is the economic development specialist for the Fort Worth Economic Development Department. But I said to Reggie and to Robert, who is the director of the Economic Development Department last week, that it wasn't until I became a volunteer for SCORE that I even knew that I could engage with the Economic Development Department.
Exactly.
I just didn't know. I never thought, it's the government. So you can't just roll up on them, like you and start talking. That ain't how it
We're
works.
user friendly.
But most people don't know.
Yeah.
That's true.
Know.
Yeah.
Very true.
So let me ask this, Cheryl. What is the role of the city's economic development department?
Oh, okay. Well, we're there to improve the economy, to say it simply. So we're always looking to recruit new businesses in the city. We're always trying to support those businesses that are already in the city. And as well as even in the small business world, we then spin off to a role of actually helping businesses to start and grow and nurturing them through various resources that we have available. But our overall is to improve the way of life, the quality of life in the city of Fort Worth.
So Cheryl, you mean to tell me y'all actually help small businesses? Y'all actually do that?
Of course we do. And see, therein lies the issue.
Yeah, right.
Most people don't know.
You're right. And so we brought Cheryl because we want you to know. And it doesn't matter whether you're in Fort Worth, you're in Oregon, you're in New York, you're in Florida, you're in California, wherever. Every city has an economic development department.
They do.
Yeah, and you should be engaging with them.
Well, they do, but I don't know if every city's economic development department is as good as ours.
Well, you might be right. They got Cheryl though.
And not just
I would like to say no, they're not as good as we are. Not because I'm there.
Right.
We have awesome staff, basically, and they're all motivated and dedicated, even during this pandemic issue and initiative that's been going on. Everyone, the whole team, instead of just looking at the larger picture, the larger corporations, that piece still goes. But everyone has been engaged in this small business initiative and what we can do to help those businesses that are out there.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm a testament to that because for years I spent every other day at the Business Assistance Center where the Economic Development Department is. And I tell you every other day for years, and that helped me build my business, build capacity, understand what it is that we needed to do and not do whatever. So I'm not just saying that. But what I will say too is that now that was then and this is now. And so now we're part of something different. And when we realized that there was, well, we all realized that there's an issue and a problem or challenge, but we reached out and they took the time, your department took the time to meet us and have real conversations about what it is that we could do to help move the needle forward. So again, a lot of people say, well, they're the untouchables, not necessarily so.
No, exactly.
So we'll share with the world. Last week we had a meeting that was hosted by Red Development Group and the Fort Worth Economic Development Department, just talking about what are the issues that small businesses are facing. And of that meeting came four committees, right? Three committees who are now working on these top issues that we've identified as business owners, community leaders, and service providers that serve the small business community. And that came of that. And the economic development department was on board, and there was no red tape we had to go through. There was no whole bunch of anything
Right.
we had to do but get people in the room that wanted to work on
Well,
the
and
issue.
actually, we called a very early meeting for both times. So, thankfully, we were honored in, being able to have that meeting, but it was that important. We didn't want to affect the day-to-day operations of what was going on, but we felt it was
Right.
important. So what better time to do that? Entrepreneurs, we worked up early anyway.
Yeah,
That's
And
true.
they joined us. So it was good.
it was very good. And one of our philosophies behind the meeting was at 7:30 in the morning. But here's what we know for sure: anybody who ain't serious is not getting up at 7:30.
That's so true.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it. And we
And
need
I'm sure you found some real serious, anxious, eager businesses.
Right.
We did, and not just business owners, but those who serve the business community, like
Right.
People Fund, like Tarrant County College District, like and had a conversation with how they can engage with us and how we can really help to save 28 million small businesses in the country,
That's right.
and who employ 57% of our population. It's
Yes.
not a lot of times we think about small business and we go, the mom and pop, if they close, but
Yeah.
we don't think about who they employ and how they impact our community, what their tax base is, all of that.
That's exactly. And, it's evidenced by definitions of small business. There are like 3 different definitions of a small business out there now. It depends on who you're talking to. If it's the government, if it's the IRS, if it's an insurance entity or what have you. But some say a small business is up to 100 employees. And some say that, oh no, it's up to 500. But there's also the definition of up to 1,000 employees.
Yeah.
So you see that a small business could cover a wide range. And then we focus also on the micro businesses, the mom and pops, which are the ones that are the real bread line of the economy as well.
Yeah.
So Cheryl, tell us more about what role you play in the Economic Development Department.
Okay, I think I have the best role in the city and in the Economic Development Department. I'm basically a liaison and a support for small businesses. Through the years, I've worked with hundreds of small businesses, and the one thing we find out is that most times they don't know what they don't know. Okay? And I know that's very like overused statement, but it's true. And not only do they not know, or let's just say this, they may know that they don't know, but they're afraid to admit it.
Mm-hmm.
If you stop and think about it, okay, I'm Mr. or I'm Mrs. Business Owner, and I'm supposed to be running this business, so I'm supposed to know all, be all, really get this going. And I'm not gonna be so eager to say, hey, I don't know that, or I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Right.
Right.
So
that's always a challenge that we constantly address.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things too that I have found to help remedy that is that a lot of businesses, they think they're the start, the end, the all with their business. And so they have to identify what skills they have, what skills they don't have. And if it's a skill they don't have, then they probably should not be running that piece of the business.
right.
You have options out there. You can engage, enlist, borrow, beg, steal someone else to run that piece of the business for you. Okay. Or of course, you can always go out there and get training. And yeah. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Imagine.
Exactly.
Is tonight, Cheryl, is I don't know. Because in that meeting we were talking about, there was an entrepreneur who said, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to. And this is an entrepreneur like they didn't just start yesterday, but they said, I don't know what to do. And all of us get to that place at different stages of our journey. You could be 27 years in and get to a place where you're just like, I don't even know what to do at this point.
That's exactly right. And you know what the first answer to that is? Don't be afraid to ask. No, it's simple, but it's not that profound, but ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
There are a lot of resources that are out there to help small businesses in what they need to do. A lot of business entities, a lot of organizations, even such as Red Development, that are out there that are there to specifically help businesses.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have mentioned the James Gwynn Entrepreneurial Campus yet.
You can tell us more about it.
You can tell us about it.
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
We might have to get her on as a host to lead the conversation.
So, since you asked, the James Gwynn Entrepreneurial Campus is located right at I-35 in Rosedale. And we hate to think of it like this, but it is the best kept secret. But it's the biggest jewel in Tarrant County, probably in DFW. And it is the best place to go for all types of resources. On the campus alone, I'll give you kind of like a virtual or mental tour really quick of that campus. So on the campus, there are 3 separate buildings. Now, the James Gwynn Entrepreneurial Campus was formerly a elementary school, one of the first colored elementary schools. And so it's very appropriate to this day now that there are all types of learning and things still going on in that building. And that's the Business Assistance Center. So your 3 buildings, you have the Business Assistance Center, or most people call the BAC, and then you have Tech Fort Worth, and you have Accelerate DFW. So now Accelerate DFW works with businesses that are trying to grow, develop, get to another level, those that are going to be hiring any type of employees and creating jobs. And they're basically general business, any type of business. Your next building, the one in the middle, is Tech Fort Worth. And Tech Fort Worth is more like an accelerator or an incubator, and they focus on businesses that are developing technology and basically any and everything they'll need at any stage of developing that technology. You can also office at either of those locations. They do have office space for those businesses. Then the 3rd building, like I said, which is the one most people are familiar with, possibly, is the Business Assistance Center. So stopping right there, that has almost everything you need to run, to start, grow, develop, jumpstart your business, anything you need. So in the building alone, we have several partners. We have SCORE. There's also Tarrant Small Business Development Center, the Regional Hispanic Contractors Association office is there. We have several lenders, which would be William Mann, CDC, Alliance Lending, and also a micro lender. And micro lenders are usually a little more user-friendly with small businesses, and that's People Fund. Then also Southeast Fort Worth offices in that building. Previously, our Office of Business Diversity housed there, but now they're over at the Hazel Harvey Peace building, which is just right across the freeway from the James Gwynn campus. But also in that building, we just have so many people and resources. The Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce also houses in the building there. And of course, not one and only, but our economic development department also houses in that building. So that's a lot of people that are dedicated.
Support. That's a
Yeah.
lot of support.
Yeah.
For support, you know, and that's and what most people don't know, the type services they do offer.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, I was so I'm a volunteer for SCORE. Now, some of the departments that Cheryl talked about aren't nationwide, but some of them are, like the
Right.
SBA, like
Right.
the which is the Small Business Administration, or the
Mhm.
SBDC, which is the Small Business Development Center, or SCORE, which is the Senior Corps of Retired Executives. All
Exactly.
three of those you can find in your
Mhm.
community, no matter where you are in the US. All of those are
Exactly.
available to you and the Economic Development Department as well. And all they probably all know where your micro lender is, where if there's something like a Tech Fort Worth in your area, things like
Exactly.
that. If there's accelerators in your
Mhm.
area, that kind of thing, they would know where
Right.
those resources are. But I've used, you know, SCORE, SBDC, SBA
Mhm.
myself, but those three at least are free resources along with your economic development department. It doesn't cost you anything. So
Mhm.
when I'm presenting a workshop for SCORE, I tell people their first piece of homework is to go get a SCORE mentor. Why? Because you already
Right.
paid for it. You
Mhm.
That's
paid for it
right.
with your taxpaying dollars, so you might as well go use your.
Might as well use it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And I think they're awesome resources. And also, not to forget all your local chambers of commerce. They have a wealth of information of what services are available in communities, what types of businesses already exist, and so forth. So there's so much going on. And specifically pointing out SCORE and the Tarrant SBDC Small Business Development Center, they both focus on training. Uh,
Mm.
they have all types of training sessions, from writing a business plan to marketing plan to QuickBooks, which I encourage everyone to look up the QuickBooks classes and take them, because you've got to know some type of accounting for your business. And we have seen over and over and over again that a major weakness in a lot of small businesses would be the accounting portion.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so it's really easy. I learned it when I had a business and I felt so smart. I could spit out graphs and charts and all kinds of categories of what I sold, how I sold it. It's all on inputting the information and you can get it out.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Important mainly too, because of the fact that all of these grants and funding and loans that are going around right now require financial documents.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Encourage everyone to get ahead of that next phase and start getting them ready and learning it.
Absolutely. Cheryl, you brought up a good point. You talked about chambers. And so, one of the things business owners, I'm always talking to them about is their time and their resources. Your time is invaluable. Time is not money. Great lie. It's not,
That's
because
right.
if it were, you could exchange money and get some more time. But since your
That's right.
time is not money, time is more valuable than money. You can't get it back once you spend it. I don't care how much money you have.
Exactly.
But I'm always talking to them about understanding how, why, and where they're using their time and they're using their resources.
Mm,
All chambers are not created equal. Just because
exactly.
you have a local chamber in your town does not mean that is your chamber. What
That's
is
true.
the focus of that chamber? Are they focused on the big business, or are
Mhm.
they focused on having resources and programs and things like that to help you in the place that you're in? You have to do the work to find out any resource, any place that you're spending
Yes.
your money
Mhm.
and your time. Do they
Mm,
have what you need, where with you being in the place that you are
mhm.
in your business, to help you? And I think that that is one of the greatest mistakes that business owners
Right.
make, is we spend money on dues because chambers aren't free.
That's
We
right.
spend money on dues in these chambers just because we think there's two things. We spend money on chambers because somebody told us we needed to be a chamber member just because we have a business. That's number
Right.
one. And then
Mhm.
the other piece is that we need to write a business plan at the onset of your business. You don't, unless you're going to get some money. If you're not going to
Right.
get money, don't waste your time on that, because you're going to waste your time, because the moment you write it, it'll be obsolete because you don't even know what you're doing right now. Right now, you're just testing the water. So you're going to write a plan, or, you know, so there's so many misconceptions. There's so much misinformation. There's so many things that we spend time on that we shouldn't be spending time on. But that's the other reason why we approached the economic development department, because what we knew, because of the work that we do, and what this collective group of community leaders and business owners and things like that we met with, identified that the number one problem that we have is business development. You know why? That's the reason why they're saying, I don't know what to do.
That's exactly right. And, that shouldn't be, because of all the help that's out there. And, one point I'll throw out too, related to the chambers, and networking is important.
Yes.
A lot of people do a lot of networking, and they network and they network and they network, but what are you doing with the networking, and what are you getting from that networking, and what is it costing you? So that's the same as with the chamber. Make sure you're connecting with the right audience, the right people, the right resources, and, narrow down that networking. I know it's fun, and engaging.
Yeah.
Look at the purpose, look at the audience. What value is it giving you?
Absolutely.
So let me just back up here, because I don't want some people to say, oh, see, she said I don't need a business plan. She did say that. However.
Right. No, I was going to get back to that.
Yeah. So I'm sure we all have our comments. So what she was saying was that as your company, you have to assess your needs. Every department within your company will have a need. Your company will have overall arching need. But once you know that, then you can develop a strategy. So she said you didn't need a business plan. The business plan that you do, that you rush to do, that you have to, because you are
trying to
get
figure it out, because you don't really know how to answer these questions.
Right. But you have to work the strategy. And then once you understand what your company is, and I know people are like, well, yeah, I know do you really know every aspect of your company? Because if you did, then you would know what you need. And then when you showed up at those chamber events, you would know how best to network, because you can network, but are you networking to connect so that it can lead to a business? What is it that leading to? Or did you just show up and you made conversation, or did you show up on purpose with a goal and a mission in mind? So anyway, there's so many layers to business development, and there are things that you have to incorporate into your day every day. It's like exercise, and those people who exercise, they know that they have to work on different parts of their body. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, maybe they're doing cardio. Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe they're doing something else. Well, the same applies in business, but a lot of times we'll start business, and then we want to get it into this automatic flow. And so that becomes detrimental.
Yeah.
Because things are not going to remain the same. And when you are economic development department, or you serve the business community, sometimes people say, well, what industry do you serve? Business at its core is the same.
Yes. The skeleton does not change.
It doesn't change. So you don't have you don't have to worry about what industry we serve. Is your infrastructure for your business together.
Yeah. And let me say this, because I did say you don't need a business plan. And when I say that, I mean you don't need, and I'm serious. I've done the research, people. Listen, I've done the research. You do not need a traditional business plan in that first maybe 1 to 4 years, unless you are looking for funding. But let me tell you what you do need. You do need a 1-page business plan. You do need that. And you do need a strategic plan that is going to, at minimum, help you to figure out, or has the steps and the processes you will take for the next 12 months to get you to your goal. One, that's a much better use of your time, and it is a clear path to your destination.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get in the practice of doing that on an annual basis, you will not, it's just like for New Year's Eve, everybody goes, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds. But nobody has a step-by-step, they don't know how many pounds they need to lose a day or a week or anything. And guess what?
Day 5.
Guess what their next New Year's resolution is?
It's 40.
I'm gonna lose 40 pounds this year.
The addition, and you know what? I think the whole thing about the business plan is the planning aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And it's more like these overused sayings, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay. And then also, hey, just throw in for kicks, prior planning prevents pitiful performance.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. That's good.
Okay. So try saying that real fast. So the whole gist of it is, whatever you do in life, you first stop and come with an idea. You have to think through it. You have to plan it. It's not like I'm going to wake up one morning and say, I think I'm going to be an astronaut. And I'm just going to go out there and sail the moon, It's not like that. So your business plan, it doesn't really matter the format that you use. It's the planning piece that's important. And
I don't know, Cheryl, I disagree.
Let
me tell you why I disagree. Because here's what I find. When you think about the content inside of a traditional business plan, it is comparable to a college textbook. If I were to leave and hand my physical traditional business plan to my son, he could not take that and continue on with my business. He might know what my ideas are by reading it, but it will not tell him step by step how to get to the result of my idea, which is why I say you don't need that at the first 1 to 4 years. It's not until about 4 or 5 years in that you can even seriously answer the question. Because really all that is now your traditional business plan is the definition of who you are. Within the first 1 to 4 years, you can't define who you are as a business. You don't know.
That's a good point. Now, so I won't say I disagree with it. However, let me offer a differing opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it all starts with research.
Yes.
Have a pretty darn good idea what you are, who you are, and what you want to do before you invest your money to start. So it's going to start with research. You have to research the industry. You have to research the target market. You have to research the competition. And while you're doing all this research, you're putting it in a document, whatever you want to call your document. Okay, it could be an operations plan, a strategic plan, or what have you. Now, of course, you're right. You need a full-fledged plan. If you've been in business less than 2 years and you're going to go to a bank for financing. Other than that, one of the things that we would always teach is that business plan is your daily operational plan. It's your management plan. And if it is written correctly, you can take that and decide what needs to be done and how. Because remember, you've got an operational plan. It should tell exactly how that business is operating. You have a marketing plan. You can tell your strategy for marketing. You have the management plan that you need on board with you. So you have a wealth of information that if you've researched, you can take that and pass it. And in there again, it's not this crazy document that a lot of people talk about. There are 12 simple steps that we would teach to and our partners teach to as well. We also have a business plan competition. But there again, you have this plan and it's easy to write. It's simple to write. It is your navigating tool throughout your business life to see if you're going the right direction and if you're having the right results. So it's not like just a one and done. No, going to write this plan, and you're right, what you say, it's going to become obsolete real soon. But that's why it's an ever-living document. They have also the live business plan. You continue to look at it and update it. Another point of that is when there's a downturn in the economy, or there's a pandemic or something, or something changes, okay, what am I going to do now? I didn't plan for, they have a risk assessment part of the plan. So it's kind of like when you get to a stalemate, then you pull that plan back out again and you say, okay, what did I say I was going to do and how? Now, it will not be 100% accurate. Of course, it won't be. As far as your forecasting, if it is, then you're clairvoyant. You need to be in a different business. Okay. So basically, but you're kind of at least thinking and making a strategy. And, it ebbs and flows, but it's always good to have some type of document.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Some type of document for sure. I am a big proponent. I'm a strategist though, so I'm a big proponent for having an annual strategy, because here's what I know for sure about me. Yep. At this stage in life, I've started 4 businesses and I've made money in all of them. I still have 3 of them. But let me tell you how much research I did in the first 1 to 3 years.
Oh, none.
Oh, absolutely not. But you get what I'm saying? I didn't do any. But those are the kind of things that we're told is you got to do some research. You got to, and I was green. So in green, you research everything. But what I knew what I knew. And so am I not going to go and take the money, make the money building this website or coaching this company because I haven't done my research? The truth of the matter is most people do not start their businesses like that. And because if they're doing it 9 times out of 10, they need to get to the money as quickly as possible.
Right.
So while I agree with you, if you are going to get some money from a bank, it's the only way they're going to let you do it because they require that. But if you don't have to do that, then because here's one of the things. So good place to mention 2 things. One, the goalie system that we use at Red Development Group. It is a strategic planning guide. So rather than build your business plan, use the goalie strategy and build your annual plan. That will give step-by-step instructions on what to do every day in your business. So it doesn't matter whether you do it or somebody else does it. It gets done to the level that you said you wanted it to be done. That's one thing. But the other thing, to a point that you made before, Cheryl, when you were talking about making sure you make the right connections and you're connecting with the right companies, organizations, networking in the right spaces, is we are about to start a mastermind group. Sorry, guys, this particular mastermind group is only going to be for business women who have been in business for 3 years plus. There's a real specific reason for that. Because this group is about the giants. It's about those ladies who are adamant, determined to make it. They've already done some great things. They need the support system around them to really help them. But anybody in this mastermind is serving the business community. The service they provide is for and to business owners. So we probably won't have anybody in this group that makes cupcakes, but we probably will have other business coaches. We probably will have, web design companies. We probably will have those kind of people who serve the business community. Why? Because when we start talking about networking, if I'm B2B and everybody around me sells cupcakes and hot dogs and food trucks and all, how do I network with them and get, because in my conversation with them is just about how I sell them a product or a service, as opposed to how can we work together, serve each other, serve our client base. And so we're being intentional about that and paying attention to what's going on around us and all these conversations that we're having with people to find out what's missing. Not just becoming another mastermind group. And to your point, Cheryl, now, at least for coaching, you know, I'm 20 something years into it. I've run mastermind groups before, but when I slowed down enough to really take a look around, is when I discovered that there's that need exists. There's not a need for another regular old mastermind group. There's not, but there is a need for the group that can service each other, that can grow together. Because there can be some growth, but how do you maximize the growth? Right. is what's important.
That's true. And that's a very good point, because that speaks heavily on the audience you're putting yourself in front of.
Yes.
Right.
Because a lot of your leverage can be with like business owners.
Yes.
That you can share. You can just simply support each other, you know, and that makes a big difference. So a group like that is awesome, because you've got like-minded people, like goals, and you can leverage each other, you can support each other, and you can help each other. And that's one of the other resources I would offer, is to find other business owners out there like yourself, you know, and see how you can work together. Yeah. And you can support each other and help each other. Yeah. So I think that's very important, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody's going to, well, first of all, what we understand is, just especially in Tarrant County, coming to the back and just hanging out and seeing what's going on down there is a very wise decision.
Yes.
I say all the time that SCORE hosts some of the best. I know my 3 workshops that I host are the best. I just say.
Well, we're definitely not going to disagree with you.
You know, I just say. But there are some amazing resources there. And if you're not ready for lending, then, but you know that you will want some sometime soon, then you can go. I know for sure you can go to Erica and her team at People Fund and say, look, I don't need money right now. I just want to get ready for money. And they will help you get ready for money.
Right.
So will SCORE. So we're the SBDC, help you get ready, get in the position so that you can get money. And I will repeat what Cheryl said, and this second phase is coming through.
Right.
Go get ready for the money.
Right. And be ready. And you're so ready. Look at the SCORE classes on QuickBooks, you know, and then you think about all these resources that are out there, like you said, and being able to leverage them and use them. And, you know, if not, you're missing out on a lot. And just along with the classes that they offer, but also the free one-on-one coaching and counseling.
Yes.
The industry experts that are doing the coaching and the teaching and the learning in almost any topic that you need. And it's free. So did I also say it's free?
Yeah.
So, you know, you said it was free, but I would like to think that you respond according to the entrepreneur's needs. So you already have a set of defined courses or classes that you offer. But if in fact you determine that there are other needs, you're going to meet those needs by providing those courses. So that's why it's important. Or maybe you can tell us when the best time, or why would somebody feel that they can or should connect with the Economic Development Department? And is it the Economic Development Department that they should connect with first, or is it the business system? Give us, if I'm an entrepreneur and I just entered this space, Dallas-Fort Worth area, how should I approach your facility?
Okay. Well, we have a lot of people that come to us different ways. Some people just go online and Google small business assistance or development, business development. Some people just walk in the building, you know, lost, like, okay, I really don't know what I need, but I know it's here. And then your economic development department is always a good starting point, because there again, depending on your level, is who you would engage with in our department. So if you're a larger corporation or you're looking for property, you're looking for incentives, you're looking for what have you, you're looking to relocate, then you start at our economic development department. If you're a smaller business or just your standard small business, then if you engage with me, there again, I'm like a liaison for small business, then I'm going to connect you to all the other resources that you may or may not be aware of that will help you. So that's a good starting point. Just connecting with the economic development department. You can call us and you'll be directed to whom would be the best party for you to speak with. You can also go on the city's website. And that's the website is fortworthtexas.gov/ecodev, ECODEV. So Fort Worth, Texas, written out together, .gov, G-O-V, /ecodev. If you go to that website, you will see everything that the Economic Development Department is engaged in, what we do, a survey we were doing for COVID. You will also see all the incentives, the plans, the programs. You can also connect with the James Gwinn Entrepreneurial Campus and get direct information. So that is easily a perfect starting point for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, one more resource I'd like to point out that's not just on the Fort Worth website, but it's on the website of every city, is the city's 10-year plan. Go find your city's 10-year plan and read, just pull the section out that pertains to business to find out what the city's initiatives are as it pertains to business. And if small business isn't there, go talk to your economic development department to say, hey, okay, so I got the plan. Here's what it said, but I don't see me. Okay, so what's happening for me in this city? Because I'm willing to bet there's something happening. It might just not have made it into the city's 10-year plan, like the venture we have with you all. You know, it's not in the city 10-year plan. We just did that Friday. It's not in it.
That's a good thing about it. You know, this is ever growing, ever evolving. And that's the good thing. You can kind of react on a dime and kind of create and do the things you need to have done. You know, even in this world of the pandemic that's going on, the one thing that we tell everyone is, you know what, don't be afraid to call an audible. Don't be afraid to pivot. You know, change what you're doing and how you're doing it. A lot of people are going internet based. A lot of people are doing a different spin-off on their products or their services. So you have to be receptive and, you know, to like doing something a little different, you know, and engaging the people and the partners that are out there to help you.
Absolutely. And not only that, Cheryl, when you do that, it allows you to better engage and serve your customer.
Right.
That's the important piece. You know, one of the things that I've been thinking about probably every day is I have my favorite restaurants, you know, where I go get this and I go get that. And lately, you know, when I go, all of them, with the exception of one of them, has made a change in the way they do things that makes me now not want to go back and spend my dollars there. And for me, it's sad because I'm like, you've made this change. You're not communicating with your customer base. I get it. You know, if you're trying to save some money in the pandemic, but let me tell you something. I don't like my fried rice made with sushi rice. I don't like it. You know, I came here because we use two different rices. But then now the quality of what I was getting is no longer there. And so I'm making different choices, or I'm making it at home. And some of the decisions that we're making as business owners is actually pushing our customer base away, as opposed to maintaining those who love us and bringing in more. And so I love that you talked about, you know, changing direction. We always talk about the pivot But sometimes,
Yeah. You know what? You should never make a change unless you kind of explore it.
Right.
Because you're right. You don't know what's going to set your customers off in a different direction.
yeah.
So you do have to do some kind of homework, research, kind of ask around, kind of get a better feel for it, because you're right. And the biggest thing for us to remember is that everyone is challenged right now.
Yeah.
Definitely try to support small business, but it's kind of like, this is a new thing that we've got to get through. And so you have to do, some type of investigation and homework before you go in a totally different direction.
I think that's why I respect technology and what tech companies do with social media. They listen to their consumers. And if you're not in technology, you don't do that well, because you don't survey, you don't ask the questions, you don't put out the survey, you don't do the customer survey, because you don't really want to know. And so if you don't want to know, then you could be doing all things wrong. And it could be the difference between you staying in business another 10, 20 years or forever, or another 10, 20 days.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, my one restaurant that has never let me down.
I don't say the name, because then we have,
if you do, we're gonna have to charge them for sponsorship.
They haven't lost, their people, but I just don't want to roll up in there and not be able to get my food.
Because the parking lot, let me tell you something, Cheryl. This place, as long as I've been driving past this place, the parking lot has been absolutely full every day, and it has not changed during this pandemic. And you know why I think it is?
Wow.
Because the food I went and got last week that was absolutely delicious was just as good in January as it is.
That's a point. You cannot compromise quality. Cannot. And so we'll talk later on. Okay.
About the name, that's right. And I believe in supporting small businesses. I do. But right now, I want to be able to go. There are not too many places I can go and things that I can do. And I'm tired of riding Hemphill Bridge for excitement. They open up this bit. So anyway, I'm just saying.
I know. we got to get through this. We'll get. This is a very challenging time for everyone. Our heart goes out to everyone. I've had a few small businesses as well, and I know what this could have done. Standard small business.
Yeah.
I just encourage everyone, please seek, ask, and get help.
Yes. One of the things that I have I've said repeatedly, if right now through this pandemic, you are trying to do it by yourself, you have increased your failure rate drastically. Go find you some collaborative partners. Go find you some other people to connect with to help you serve your people, because this is not a time when we need to try and be Superman or Superwoman. We don't have all the answers, and now's the time to, like, the BAC should be packed every day. It literally,
that's a fact.
It should
and
be
and what they can't do in person, there's virtual. I mean, the classes literally that, say, Example Score has, they have tons of classes now, more than they had before. And every one of them are virtual.
That's right.
They can even do virtual coaching and counseling.
Right.
Take advantage of those city dollars, and public and private funds that get that to happen, and then move up the level, to other entities that will help you with strategic planning and goal setting, such as red development. And, but always know who's out there and what level you are and who would be a better fit for you.
Cheryl, you said what level you are. You almost got me on a tangent, but we almost
But we can do part 2 now.
We're going to have a part 2.
Did you see me hold on? I said, don't do it, Collette. Don't hold the bull back. Don't let her do it.
Okay, well, let's do part 2. And let's bring it on.
Okay.
It's good. It's all good. Somebody's going to learn something.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a part 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? One last thing I'll say, this is just a personal opinion for me. And I call it DSM. Okay. In this pandemic, distance, sanitize, and mask. I don't care what anybody else is saying. Wear your mask, people. Okay. So, so what if we're wrong? Okay, then we're wrong. But what if we're right?
Right.
Yeah.
We've got to control this. So wear your mask.
Yeah.
It will be over soon and quicker. And I heard someone the other day say this hashtag don't kill grandma.
Come on now.
Right.
I mean, it's not necessarily you, but it's your fellow man.
Right.
Yeah.
Be a little humane with this.
I'm gonna use that. I like it.
Don't kill grandma.
Grandma
I know.
just trying to live, y'all.
Look,
Exactly. And what are you going to do to her? If you come in spreading stuff because
right.
you couldn't wear a mask.
Right.
So, my opinion.
I agree.
I like it.
Okay, so Cheryl, last question for the evening, then we're gonna let you go.
All right.
So we always like to ask people, why did they decide to join Red? So for you, as a Red champion. So for you, I had a conversation with you, and you were like, "Well, I saw you guys, and I thought, wow, I should join what they're doing." So you just share maybe why you thought that, or why you want to partner with Red as Red champion, or what?
Yes. Well, what I see is that you've got so many people offering different parts. Okay, you've got people doing training, you've got people doing coaching, you've got people doing counseling, you have so many things, but how does that all go together?
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to now have a real strategic plan? Have you been able to have goals set, but then also monitor where you are and kind of like have some real ongoing engagement and resources that'll help you?
My hallelujah hand.
So we agree on something.
Right. That's right.
We agree on a lot of stuff.
We do. We're actually partners, and I love it. But yes, so I think Red Development has that piece perfect. And that's very important for businesses. Someone that's an ongoing person that's helping and connecting and resourcing with you and helping you reach those goals and set the right goals and strategies. So
I'm going to recommend that they give you a raise.
Yeah, listen, who we got to talk to?
I think that's an awesome idea. I hope they're watching.
Exactly.
Because I just think you got 25 bags of shoes and clothes to read, you got to get them back somehow. Somebody needs.
That's exactly. No, I don't want them back. It was a headache trying to figure out where to put them all. I don't want to shop anymore.
Well, you're doing good. If you don't want to shop, that's good. Yeah.
We have a comment.
Oh, we have a comment?
We do.
Let's see what it says. Are there any resources? Okay. Are there any resources for finding professionals? For example, if I need a CPA for a law firm, is there a program for matching a small business needs with other small business services?
Well, Jeff Johnson, aren't we glad you asked?
And we're glad you're back from Oregon.
We're glad you're back from Oregon, too. So listen, we are working on it. It is one of the tools that we've decided that we're going to work on, at least for Tarrant County. Yeah. So we had 3 committees that came out of the meeting that we had on Friday, and one of those committees, which Reggie is over, is the coordination committee, which is responsible for coordinating all of the resources that we have and putting them in one document. And then we'll figure out, is it a website? Is it a whatever? But what are all of these? Like, we've got so many paid and so many free resources. What are they? And we're going to really we've got a committee, I think of 7 or 8 people
on each
that are going to work together to figure out what's available and then connect with those resources like Sparkyard and places like that already have some resources and databases and things like that. So we're working on it, Jeff. But a good place to go is Sparkyard, and I think it's sparkyard.co. if I'm not mistaken. Spark Yard is a good place. But let me tell you what else, Jeff. If you need help from a CPA, another great place to go is SCORE, because we keep a list of different vendors, and we always have to give you 3. So we keep a list of different vendors, so you can call SCORE for that purpose, or you can meet with a retired executive who used to be a CPA or was the CFO of a company or something like that, and do it do that piece at least at no cost to you. So
I agree, and that's exactly what I was going to say about Spark Yard, because there are so many people that have started coordinating parts, and if we get it all together, our small business area is working on some type of resource or referral list. But the biggest thing to know is you're correct. If you're working with the SBDC or SCORE, they all have referrals for all of those entities, and they will give you at least 2 or 3, and it's your choice who you use. So yeah, definitely ask the experts, and they can give you referrals. And don't go looking up on just the internet blindly or the yellow pages. Get it through a qualified resource that knows that it's good. And one other thing I'll tell every small business, there's certain partners you need to have in your world to help you be more successful. Okay? Of course, one is a banker. A banker and have some engagement with them, not just because I was a previous banker, but because, you know, they will help you along the way and get ready for what you're going to need financially, or if they're and so forth. You need to have a good CPA or an accountant, which is best for you. We also say a good commercial real estate agent, not just a regular, you know, insurance agent, but a commercial insurance agents. So those are some of the main, and of course an attorney that can give you some type of legal advice. These are all partners and players. If you're in the right networking groups, you can also find those type entities, but don't forget the resources that are out there that can give you the referrals.
Cheryl, I'm going to give you one more that I think you should add to your list. Just
okay.
I understand how important it's been in my life, is a business coach.
Yes.
A coach of any, you know, we know that if I'm going to go play professional, if I'm going to play Little League football at 5 years old, I got a coach.
Right.
If I'm going to do anything else great in my life, if I'm going to sing, I have a vocal coach. But one of the places where we, for whatever reason, don't think we need a coach.
That's right.
And it gets missed a lot. And
that's right.
What I know for sure in my life is having a business coach has helped me to exponentially accelerate my growth in my business. Although it's what I do, I still have a coach.
Exactly.
I have 3. Me.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
So
because there's different areas that you're working on at all times, or you should be. Now, you mentioned all the things that they should have, a banker, CPA, and all, but you just don't check the box. You make sure that that bank is the bank for you. If you are an attorney or if you're in transportation, make sure that that bank services those industries. If you are a CPA, don't be a janitorial cleaning company, but yet they don't, that's not their area of expertise. Whoever your partner is, they need to be fluent in what you do.
Not just
in your industry.
No, because that's not enough. You know, when you're trying to advance, they're the people that you're going to lean on, because remember, you don't know everything. As much as you like to believe that you know everything, you don't know. And so you don't want it to take 3 to 6 months to figure out a problem, because you know what? You missed the window of opportunity.
That's right. That's right.
And you're not making a decision was a decision to do nothing.
Cheryl, did you see Reggie just give me the mama look? Like,
did I give you the mama?
I love it.
I wasn't seeing it, but I thought I was. Oh,
But those are all great points. You're right. You got to have someone that knows a little bit more than you do, someone industry that you're in, okay, and a coach or a mentor or a field expert, you know, an industry expert, and also don't neglect to put together a board of advisors. Or a board of directors. You know, board of directors get to be a little more formal, but board of advisors, you can have people that are in the industry you're in, someone that has sales expertise, someone that has financing expertise. You can build your own team that's there to consult with you as well. And it may not cost you anything, but maybe an occasional lunch or something.
Right.
Yeah. So,
but let me tell you something. It may not cost you anything, but what your return on investment for your advisor, your group of advisors is astronomical. If you pick the right people, and you only can pick the right people when you know where you're going and what you're doing.
And then you have to respect them once you pick the right people.
Yes.
Respect them and their time.
Don't pick mama and them. Mama and them don't know. Neither does Nook Nook or Pooh.
But that's true. You know, don't waste their time if you ain't gonna listen.
That's right.
You take it under advisement.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Cheryl, this has been so fun. We gotta have you back.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. I love talking and helping small business. So I'm in whenever you need me.
Good. We'll connect and we'll determine.
Yes. So thank you all for listening and joining us and asking questions and all of that good stuff. Make sure that, well, let me talk about the upcoming thing.
Yes.
So we're going to be starting this mastermind group for the female business giants, the giants that are, you know, you're a giant. You ain't made giant status yet, but you know you're a giant. Everybody keeps telling you you're a giant. For you, we're starting this mastermind group that will also include, will also have the option of having some one-on-one coaching in that as well. We'll be starting that hopefully in September. It's going to include women from all over the country. So you'll be having an opportunity to connect in that way with women from everywhere. We'll make sure we have Cheryl drop in sometime and give us some of her good knowledge. We're going to pick her brain. And we'll have other experts that'll drop in that will help all of us grow and move and thrive in our businesses. So that's what's coming up with Red Development Group. So you want to make sure that you are connecting with us. Follow us on Facebook. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Connect with us on Instagram. Follow our YouTube channel where you'll be able to go back and listen to this red light interview and listen to it over and over again if you feel like you need to. But make sure that you are connecting with us. Follow us on Twitter because there's a lot of things that we're going to have going on that you'll want to know and you'll want to hear. And every day, our social media pages, we're sharing information, knowledge, and nuggets that are going to be pertinent to you. They may not be pertinent to you today, but it may be very pertinent. It may be the very thing that you need 2 years from now. So make sure you're being connected. Make sure you're following. If you know another business owner, male, female, no matter where they are in their journey, if they're an aspiring business owner, share this with them. If you heard something that's important to might possibly be important to them, share this with them. Be intentional about how you share and what you share. We want you to share for sure, but we want you to make sure that you share it because it's a resource. And if we do a better job of making sure that we're connecting people with resources, the same thing will happen for us and will only yield good fruit. So this has been Red Light. Thank you again, Cheryl. I am Collette Portis.
And I am Reggie Stearns Kemp, and it has been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Till next week.
Thank you, ladies. Stay safe, stay well.
So Cheryl, you stay right there since you signed up.
Okay.
Thank you. for joining us. We are so excited that you decided to take some of your time and spend it with us. You know, people say that time is money, but we don't believe that because there's no amount of money that you can spend to get your time back. Time is invaluable. And so we appreciate the fact that you took some of your time and spent it with us. That means a lot. And we hope that it was time well spent. Listen, we are on purpose about disrupting the status quo, helping you to become a sound, solid, sustainable business owner, helping you to build and grow your legacy, and bringing together the resources, the tips, the tools, the tricks, all of that stuff that will help you do that. And so we hope today that you got some of that. But the work is just beginning. There's 3 stages to this. You have to evaluate, you have to plan, and you must execute. So do yourself a favor, do us a favor. Go to reddevelopmentgroup.com or redwomen.win and do your business diagnosis. There's a link right on, there's a pop-up that will come up so you can do your red business diagnostic that is going to help you determine right where you are in business. Because the only way to get to where you're going is to first know where you are and where you're starting. So evaluate your business. And then next, go to Amazon, go to ColettePortis.com, get your goalie bundle. This is how you're going to write your plan. Not just any old plan, an effective plan that tells you and your team and those who work with you what needs to be done in your business every day in order to execute the business of your business. We want you to show up and be great. We want your greatness to show up in your business. We believe that you are great and nobody else can do what you do to the level that you can do it in. But you first have to evaluate where you are, create a plan, and then execute the plan. And then don't forget to follow us. Come back next time. Follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us on Instagram. Connect with us on Facebook. Find us on YouTube. Wherever you can find us, connect with us. We have a blog where we're pushing out great information, not just from us, but all of the experts that are in our network are there to feed you the things that will cause your greatness to explode out of you. So show up, be great, be the best at what you're the best at, and connect with Red so we can keep feeding you the tools, tips, and tricks and resources that will help you do that. Until next time, we will see you on the other side. Have a great day.